touching all kinds of paper, and I ain't never gonna give a fuck about a hater, cause I know I got soul, baby. Baby, I'm gonna shine forever, and I'ma stay touching on that wood and leather, cause I know I got soul, baby.
What up, gang? You already know what it is. It's Guy King TV. I'm Patai. And today I wanted to go in depth and talk a little bit about what happens when a woman rejects her masculine side. What happens when a woman is not familiar with dealing with her masculine side? Where does that come from? How do we go further with that? And this is for the ladies, but this is also for the men to be able to understand what happens with women and what type of things manifest when women reject the masculine side or they don't know how to deal with the masculinity, Now, for those who got ladies who may have had a hard bring up, they had a hard time coming up. Maybe they had abuse happen. Maybe they had a lot of things happen with their father, or maybe they were neglected. Maybe they seen a lot of things happen with the mother and the father in the household, and all of these things shape the reality for the lady. Now, couple that with her growing up, having her own experiences with the opposite gender. Now, a lot of this also alludes to the fact that there may have been times where that woman may have not had someone kind of educate her, and I mean in terms of women. She may have not had the best role models in terms of women and seeing how women dealt with men. And what that does in return, it reinforces a certain type of ideology that she goes by in her life. And then she sees that this system is broken, but she don't know how to fix it. So she utilizes what she hears from other women. Now, I bring this up because I want to talk about something. When a woman does not know how to deal with her masculine energy, she goes about trying to figure out how to deal with that in many ways. There's many ways that I've seen this play out. One main major way that is very, very, very destructive is when a woman tries to become the man in a very weird psychological way. She feels like she has to reclaim her power by using men as a form of conquest. Like, she feels like she has to take them down. She feels like her only way of getting power is to destroy men. And she goes on this lifelong journey of trying to destroy men when all she has to do is learn how to harmonize her own inner masculine energy. But it becomes very destructive when she neglects her own inner masculine, and in the cloak of thinking feminist, ideology or a feminist approach, and saying men are the problem without addressing the fact that we all are masculine and feminine. And if you can utilize your own masculine energy, you can utilize that in ways where you feel secure about yourself. When you feel secure about yourself and you feel like you're able to take control of your own destiny, your own thoughts, your own this, you don't try to compete with nobody. You don't try to compete with another man, and you know you're a woman. You realize what masculinity is. You don't project it on nobody. Now, what women do who try to go that path is they spend their whole life thinking that they're a man to a degree. And I'm not saying that she thinks she's a man, but what you have is, like, for example, you have women who may like men, but they like to use men because they feel like they have to use men as a form of conquest. They feel like their only way to get back their power is to use men and break men down. But that usually only happens to weak men, so they feel threatened, but they feel up to the challenge when they feel like they can take a man down who's masculine, he's sure of who he is. But it doesn't work like that. So ladies, if you are one of those women like I'm talking about, that you feel like you gotta take over the masculine nature by destroying it, and now you have your power back and you reclaim your femininity, that's not how it works. Another aspect of that is this. You may think that if you're a dyke, let's say you're a woman who likes women, you're a lesbian. But even within that matrix, you have lesbians who are operating from the feminine side. Then you got lesbians that are operating from they're trying to operate from the masculine side, because what happens, it don't matter if you're in a relationship with a man or a woman. Ladies, if you go to a relationship with another woman, somebody's going to occupy the masculine side. Somebody's going to operate the feminine side. So if you feel like you're what they call dykes or Butchdykes, then you're trying to reclaim your masculine energy. You think that you're and what you're doing is actually kind of rejecting your feminine energy, and you're operating in a masculine form, but you're not operating in its true nature. The true nature for you as a woman is not to become a man. The same way the natural order for a man utilizing his feminine energy is not to become a woman. So you ain't supposed to, if you're a man, you ain't supposed to be chopping off your dick. And ladies, you're not supposed to be trying to grow a dick. You are a woman. Man is a man. Man is only the masculine aspect of the feminine. Ladies, you are the feminine of the feminine. So we have to understand how this works. And what plays out a lot of the times in a chart, when a woman does reject her masculine side, she either do like what I'm saying, attempt to, control the masculine by subduing it or obliterating it, or thinking that she's doing that by doing that in the external element, but the internal element still lacks attention. So you still never address your masculine energy. What may have happened when you were younger, or what may have caused you to reject that, in so many words, you have to go back and readdress it. Now, what that means is that you have to understand that in terms of neutralizing the masculine and the feminine energy within yourself, when you are a woman attempting to deal with your masculine energy, you have to deal with the masculine principles. Okay? So that means accountability. That means responsibility. That means being able to have long-term goals, utilizing this energy that's going to allow you to stay in a realm of consistency for a purpose. You see what I'm saying? When a man is a man has goals. He's driven for a purpose, and he usually stays consistent with that, because the hardest test for a man is to have the influence of the feminine, the magnetic energy, the chaotic energy that pulls on his life, that makes him sway and go in different ebbs and flows of life, but he has to still remain focused on his purpose. So with a woman, you have to be able to know that for you to utilize your masculine energy the right way, you have to know that, first of all, we all have masculine and feminine energy. Let's get that out the way. 2, you are not a man. You are a woman. So what you have to realize is that your principles by nature are going to be aligned to the feminine realm, spirituality. What you're supposed to do is learn how to utilize these masculine principles. Now, what that means is that when you deal with your own internal masculine, you have to, first of all, love yourself. Okay, there's aspects that we all have to learn to grow through, but you have to love yourself. You have to really say, hey, I know I've been done wrong by men, but all men are not like this. 2, in order for me to understand men, I have to understand myself from my masculine side. Once you start to understand your masculine side, then you'll understand certain things that men do. And then same thing for the fellas, but that's, this is for the ladies. I want people to understand this. When a woman does not deal with her masculine energy, she creates more dysfunction and corruption within herself, and it consumes everything around her, because now all she is like is a Tasmanian devil. All she is like a Tasmanian devil. You're trying to run from yourself, but you're destroying everything in the process. And it's the same way if a man does not learn how to utilize his feminine energy. He will control and try to control everything in his power. And it becomes almost like a tyrannical exercise. What can I control now? What can I conquer now? When in reality, a man who utilizes his feminine energy and he knows how to deal with it, he's not trying to control anything. He's trying to go within the flow of what his life purpose is. So a man who's in alignment with his masculine and his feminine energy is not trying to control a woman. A woman who is not in control of her masculine and feminine energy, or her masculine energy, she's trying to control everything out of fear. The masculine realm is for you to learn how to have guidance, learn how to have discipline, learn how to have structure. Those things are going to help you go further in life. That's going to help you deal with men. Now, if a woman has her daddy or has had a man in her life that gave her some type of structure, you can usually see the difference between a woman who has had masculine leadership or guidance in her life or guardianship. You will see that because the way the archetypical aspect sets up in the mind for a person who has had this, she's not confused about what masculinity is when she has had plenty of interaction with it growing up in her formative years to know that there is a reason for masculine energy. There's a reason why the masculine says no, do this, or the masculine says, hey, blah blah blah, I'm here to protect this. She sees these things and she's not unclear about what masculine energy does. She sees how masculine energy plays out. She sees how feminine energy plays out because keep in mind, your parents are the first archetypical aspects of your halves that you understand about yourself. If you are a lady, you know what femininity is by your mother. That is the first person to show you what being maternal is like. That's the first person to show you what femininity is like, caring, love, all those aspects. The father is the first person that you realize, okay, this is a male. This is what a man is or should be like. And that goes deeper into what type of person your parents were. And those things really shape your reality. If you have had a parent who was not there, then you don't really have, you're trying to put the pieces together. You're trying to figure out how can I utilize this and where can I get this masculine energy from? But if you had a dad there, then you realize, okay, the dad is supposed to have this. He's supposed to be protective. He's supposed to be this. He's supposed to be the disciplinarian. He's supposed to be able to be the one to also give structure and criticism when it's due, but in a loving nature. All of these things you realize. So when you go through your life, if you never had that masculine energy, ladies, it pretty much sets you back in ways like you don't know how to be assertive. You may know how to find yourself having to get out there and get it how you live, but the masculine principles of being assertive means getting up when you fall off, means getting up when you get knocked down. As a man, think for a second, ladies, if you never had a dad around and you're riding your bike and your mom is helping you fall off the bike and you cry, you might skin your knee up and your mom's like, oh, baby, I'm sorry. Oh, we don't have to ride the bike no more. The mom, depending on how she is, she may take the approach of babying you up so much, protecting you so much in a way where it almost enables you. So you never really get a chance to develop that masculine side, whereas if you were riding the bike and your dad is helping you outside riding the bike, teaching you how to ride a bike, you may fall, skin your knee. Your dad will say, it's all right, baby. You got this. I'm going to make it better. We're going to kiss your leg. Let's get up and let's try it again. We're going to keep trying this till you get it right. We got you. You got it. You're a big girl. You going to be a big girl for daddy? You going to be a big girl? You're a big girl? Give me a high five. Don't worry about that. Wipe your tears. Let's go. That's the masculine side. That's what masculinity does. And I can go on and on and on about it, but I really just wanted to just touch bases on there's a very important thing that we have to always be able to grasp when we're talking about dealing with masculine and feminine energy. When we don't know how to harmonize our energies, it can become detrimental to how we deal with people. And it shapes the reality based on what and who we are at that moment from our formative years, And I say this as a man, interacting with women or seeing women who are very destructive and dysfunctional, it's because there is a lack of masculine influence or masculine adoration within themselves. A woman who has discipline, a woman who knows how to restrict herself to a degree, a woman who knows how to say, you know what, no, that's wrong. Or salute to the women who have had masculine influence where they sometimes clash with women who haven't had that aspect. And what I mean by that is this. There's women who will be accountable. There's women who call women out on shit. There's women who say, hey, this is some fucked up shit this woman does, these women do, blah, blah, blah. And then you got other women who have not had that masculine influence in their life, or they reject it. So they'll go against the grain and think that there's nothing that they can do that is wrong or should be called out about. And that is the lack of masculine, because masculinity deals with accountability, responsibility. You see what I'm saying? The feminine nature is the type that will receive information if they have the balance. And that's a very powerful thing. That's very powerful. You know, I didn't want to be too long in this video, but I did want to talk a little bit about that. It's very deep, man. Very deep. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. You already know what it is, man. It's God King TV. I'm Butchdykes. Salute.
I'ma stay touching all kinds of paper, and I ain't never gonna give a fuck about a hater, cause I